Welcome back.
Okay, tinfoil hat take on Christians and aliens incoming. Don't write me off here. Okay, so government officials testified this week about documented UFO sightings in the sky, but also in the ocean underwater. So here's the question, Pastor Josh, do you believe in the possibility of aliens? Well, here's what I for sure believe in. The possibility of demons posing as aliens. All right, two creepy facts from the Bible on this. So they testified to UAPs, that's unidentified anomalous phenomenon, in two places. Number one in the sky, number two in the ocean. Well, number one, Ephesians 2:2 calls Satan and demons, quote, the prince of the powers of the air. You say, yeah, Josh, but what about him being in the ocean? Well, when Jesus cast demons into pigs in Matthew 8, they immediately ran underwater into the Sea of Galilee. But also, when Revelation 13 describes Satan and demonic forces rising at the end of time, guess where it says they rise from?
I had always seen similarities between the two. Many movies and stories show both passing through walls, floating on air, and controlling minds. What really did it for me was the speed of the craft. Allegedly, UFOs can go from point A to point B without emitting a sonic boom. I'm not sure if you have ever seen an airplane go Mach 1, but it makes a loud sound. So far, documentation of UFOs or demons has not reported any sound barrier breakage. I believe there's a possibility that more than two things are related, like aliens, demons, ghosts, and dimensional entities. So far, that's the only thing that we can debate. But imagine when technology steps in. What else can tech see that we can't? How will you feel if high-tech sensors finally capture clear proof of something non-physical? Would you find it more scary or exciting? I don't think many people can handle that reality. Like the saying goes, having knowledge is a gift and a curse. I'll stamp this clip possible.
Have to bring anything on a truck, you just hit a button and you can get some light from space, and it's not very expensive. It's a couple $1,000s an hour and that's about it, and you can use it for as long as you want. Each one of these little satellites is reflecting sunlight to a customer around the world, and I'm going to share a little bit more about who those customers are and how you can get this sunlight. We want to make it as easy as possible for people, so you can imagine using an app and bringing sunlight over to your exact location wherever you are in under 30 seconds at the touch of a button. All we have to do is rotate satellites and reflect the sunlight that's passing by us in space.
What will happen if we have to pay subscription or rent for sunlight? Sounds crazy, but look what happened with water. Just remember the burrito logic. An English co-worker once said Mexicans are brilliant. When I asked why, he said, I've been eating the same ingredients every day. He pointed out the basic burrito, chimichanga, taco, empanada, gorditas, are basically different ways to serve tortilla, beans, and cheese. I told him he had a point. I asked him if he knew about the Holy Well in England. They were the first people to sell bottled water. Today, companies take tap water, give it a fancy name, and sell it for a high price. And people buy it. This is why 50 Cent was smart enough to invest in flavored water. He saw the opportunity and took it. There are strange things happening with our resources. Allegedly, researchers found high levels of aluminum in Mount Shasta when compared with surrounding areas, which makes you wonder why. Also, allegedly spring waters around the US are being capped or restricted due to drought, aquifer depletion, and ecological stress. I wonder if these new data centers need water. What's next? Selling oxygen? Nah, that could never happen. People are too smart. We might drink alkaline with beautiful pH level, but what happened to the minerals in the water? Spring water used to offer that. Nowadays, it will cost you a little bit extra. Enjoy, muchachos. I'll stamp this, rent, and be happy.
These are solar panels, but they're made from upcycled crops, and this changes everything. This is incredible. So, inside those panels are luminescent particles extracted from fruits and vegetables, giving it that amazing color, but also able to absorb UV light and re-emit it as visible light. That visible light is then converted into electricity by cells around the edge of the material. But here's the really clever part. Because those panels absorb UV light, which is present when direct sunlight isn't, they work for 50% of the time compared to just 15 to 20% of a regular panel. And it gets better because this system was invented by a Filipino engineering student, a guy called Carvey. Here he is. Now, he uses the plant waste from local farms in his area, those farms affected by climate change-induced weather disruption, so he can give them money by doing this during disasters. Share this with someone that needs to know how amazing this innovation is.
Imagine this concept combining with wind turbine, wind and solar, baby. Double the trouble. This image here shows a comparison between a regular solar panel and the new technology on a commercial building. The good part is that it could generate more electricity than the basic solar panels. The downside is the windows will be translucent neon green. What are the side effects of long-term exposure to the color green? I'm not sure. Allegedly, some people say that Dinshaw color therapy claims is beneficial. The problem with Dinshaw's color therapy is that it's considered pseudoscience. So that claim is not really backed up by science. More studies have to be done. I wonder what would happen if, and that's a big if, solar technology is completed and ready for the public. What will happen to solar companies that trade in the stock market? Here are a few stocks related to solar. Well, these last two companies seem they have superhuman powers. It seems like these companies are always going up. Let me check who's their shareholders. Yeah, that explains it. Luckily for him, this idea is still in development phase. I hope he doesn't patent the concept and instead start working on his public domain to document his work publicly. The only problem with that is once it's finished, he will have to move fast to get orders done before copycats start appearing around the world. And if he fixes some of the issues that current solar panels have, like this, then it will be a no-brainer purchasing this product. I would like to say, thank you, sir, for the innovation. I'll stamp this, pack, protect at all costs.
This is why everyone is single and men stop trying. This is the mouse paradise, a scientific experiment from the 1960s. They made the perfect world for mice with unlimited food, safety, and no predators. In the beginning, they placed 4 females and 4 males and let them multiply. The population exploded, hundreds, then thousands. Then something strange happened. They stopped mating. And within 4 years, they were extinct. But why? According to scientists, the reason was social interaction overload, just like humans on social media today. They were in 24/7 interaction with thousands of others. Too much stimulation, too much competition for social status, and this led them to lose the ability to form bonds, to mate and raise their young. Many males became so-called the beautiful ones. They lost interest in females. They just groomed themselves all day and withdrew completely because they could not compete in this chaos anymore. And the females followed by losing interest in males. So no mating, and they all just died without having babies. Since 2010 and smartphones, humans are living the same social interaction overload. 24/7 status competition, income and lifestyle comparison with thousands of others, physical looks to impossible standards. And many young people just choose to withdraw. For the first time in history, young people are having less sex than their parents. 30% of men under 30 had no sex for a year. Loneliness epidemic hits us harder than any virus could. You know, the mice couldn't turn this off, but you can.
Is there similarities between the fall of Rome to the Universe 25 study? Allegedly, it also happened to the Russian Empire. And where that mustache guy is from, because of certain people. Allegedly, people in that same time were too friendly with animals. Yep. This one you can research it yourself if you don't believe. Once you study history and get different viewpoints from other countries, not just here, you start seeing similar patterns across the United States. Just look around. I'll stamp this in process.
1981, Dr. Rex Newnham was fined for the horrible crime of curing his own arthritis with a natural mineral. This video is probably going to get taken down, so please save it before it does, because this information could genuinely change people's lives and take down the $30 billion arthritis industry. Dr. Rex Newnham was diagnosed with arthritis, but he refused to accept the fact that there wasn't a cure for it. So he dedicated his entire life trying to find one. And he noticed that everybody who had low levels of the mineral boron had arthritis. So he started selling sodium tetraborate, which is a naturally occurring mineral, and he ended up allegedly curing thousands and thousands of people, including himself. When he had all of this success in healing people, he tried to get the big labs and pharmaceutical companies to study this, but in his own words, he said they were disinterested because a natural mineral would threaten the thousands of dollars that they could charge for their cures that they were currently selling. So instead of getting a Nobel Prize or awarded, he was instead fined over $1,000. And the sodium tetraborate that he was selling that was allegedly curing people was made to put a danger label on the front of it, even though it would take far less salt or caffeine to kill you. You have been lied to about basically everything, so if you want to learn the truth, then follow for more.
There's not too many videos of people reviewing their experience to taking this. Here's what I found. What is sodium tetraborate? Did Dr. Rex cure arthritis? Well, he conducted a pilot study and seen significant improvements. He published many papers and even wrote a book, but the modern medical senses had different opinions and said there was no permanent cure for arthritis and cautioned people in using borax as a supplement. Here's the latest information in which the FDA has not evaluated this statement. An interesting article. His product can be found in other countries except the US. There's been many pushback by many doctors, Poison Control Center, and some holistic community like Earth Clinic that posted a video giving out cautions and explanations. I'll stamp this. More research needed.
New research claims human emissions are not driving atmospheric CO2. A paper by Dai Atto ran multiple linear regressions for 1959 to 2022, testing two predictors of the annual CO2 increase: sea surface temperature and human emissions. The result was clear. When the oceans warmed, CO2 levels rose almost exactly in step, about 2 to 3 parts per million for every 1 degree Celsius of warming. Adding human emissions to the model didn't change the outcome. Using only ocean temperature, the model reproduced global CO2 levels with near-perfect accuracy, a correlation of 0.995 and an error of just 1 to 2 ppm by 2022. Quote, "The main factor governing the annual increase in atmospheric CO2 concentration is sea surface temperature rather than human emissions." Earlier studies have shown the same pattern. Temperature changes first, CO2 follows. If Atto is correct, cutting human emissions won't lower atmospheric CO2 because it's the oceans that set the pace.
Has the Dai Atto paper been proven? Let's take a look. Who is Dai Atto? An independent researcher, freelancer author. Here you can find his research profile with around 13 publications. I like what he says in his introduction. I have published 9 articles, 6 in the medical field, as the first author, and there's no article in which I was a co-author. The most recent papers focus on the myth of human-caused atmospheric CO2. Beautiful. He's standing 10 toes down and basically saying, "Come at me, bruh." What will happen if this is proven here? Well, how many representatives advocate for years about emission restrictions? Let's check. Hey, look, you have opponents of strict regulations and you have proponents of strict regulations. Strict regulation means cleaner air. I wonder what happens when people break those regulations. Changing topics a bit. Sometimes I like to watch a puppet show. I usually step all the way back to see the audience sitting and laughing, the puppet inside the box, and the string master. It's just more entertaining for me. I'll stamp this. More research needed.
We're going FaceTime.
Huh?
We're going FaceTime.
Oh, there's a attorney.
Attorney? You normally have like an attorney? I've never seen that before. Just call an attorney when you get
Attorney Shield.
What?
It's Attorney Shield.
One more time.
Attorney Shield.
Attorney Shield?
Yeah.
what is it? I don't know what that is.
App that you can download. People can use anytime they have an interaction with law enforcement. And we're just a service provided that we can help people navigate through traffic stops, answer any questions, inform them of their rights. And it's our goal just to make all interactions with law enforcement as quick and safe as possible for everybody involved.
Okay, so you're not like his attorney, you're just a attorney.
I'm an attorney, and I am his attorney for the duration of this call because it is a paid service.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
With a service for traffic stops?
Yeah, it's like you call up an attorney and be like, hey, yeah.
Oh, so what? Like, where you guys based out of?
All
Because
over.
obviously the hours.
Yeah, we're all over.
So how do you? So if a person wants to, get an attorney like this, well, you have to put in a request or like what? Like,
So it's like
is it immediate?
it's an emergency type of service. So there's always somebody going to be on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So any time a person's a member of our platform, they're able to just press a call and there'll be an attorney waiting on call.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I heard that before. That's crazy.
Learn something new every day, man. It's all
Yeah, facts.
Since it's not publicly traded in the market, I guess I'll have to invest in Start Engine to get a piece of that. This reminds me of 1996. The sad part is that many are still having hard times because of 1996. What could happen, right, when a single entity can distribute work to young, hungry attorneys or lawyers on an emergency call? Can't wait to see what AI evolution says about that. Obviously, once the chains are broken. I'll stamp this. Dark clouds ahead.
Even severed, the leaf's electromagnetic field held its blueprint, proof that form is secondary to frequency. You didn't cut the leaf, you cut matter. The memory stayed. Energy doesn't disappear, it encodes the form. What you see is absent.
Do leaves have auras? Is this video fake? Google says yes. There's an interesting YouTube channel named Plasma Channel explaining how this could have been done by using high voltage corona and double exposure. I'll stamp this, no pulse.
And you believe that? Did you ever look up the word black in a dictionary?
For what?
Did you ever study anything that wasn't part of some con?
What the hell for, man?
Come with me. Black, destitute of light, devoid of color, enveloped in darkness, hence utterly dismal or gloomy, as the future looked black.
Pretty good with them words, ain't you?
Soiled with dirt, foul, sullen, hostile, forbidding, as a black day. Foully or outrageously wicked, as black cruelty, indicating disgrace, dishonor, or culpability. And there's others, black male, black bald, black guard.
Yeah, well, there's something more, right?
Let's look up white. Here. Read.
White. Of the color of pure snow, reflecting all the rays of the spectrum, the opposite of black. Free from spot or blemish. Innocent. Pure. Huh. Ain't this something? Without evil intent. Harmless. Honest. Square dealing and honorable. Wait a minute, but this was written by white folks though, right? I mean, this white folks book.
This sure ain't no black man's book.
So what we reading this one for?
Because the truth is lying there. If you read behind the words, you got to take.
Hey, they say you sound like an owl. Ooh. Exactly. Joking aside, this is one of the reasons why so many people second guess information, myself included. I always ask, who wrote it? Who revised it? Who pre-market read it? Who did the format and design? Who published it? And the most important now is, who's making money or benefit out of this book? Because of this, I started to use the 40-40-20 rule. I feel sorry for people that invite me to lunch. I'll stamp this espresso.
Alright, tell me I'm fucking crack. Every time I turn off the light, there's like a shadow there. Watch. You see that? What the f? What the f? Tell me I'm not a f crack, dude. Hell no. What the fuck, dude?
Popular Mechanics has an interesting article about that. It was published this year explaining the shadow people. Let me break it down into a shorter form. Imagine that everyone in the whole world has a secret, an invisible backpack that they are born with. Inside the backpack isn't toys or snacks. It's a collection of old stories and pictures from every human who lived a long time ago. Psychologists call this the collected unconscious. It's like a giant shared library in our minds that we all have key to, even if we don't know it. Here's how it works in the story. Even though people live in different countries and speak different languages, they sometimes have the same exact strange things in their dreams. It's like everyone in the world is watching the same movie inside their heads. The story mentions the shadow figures. Think of these like classic characters in the play, like the hero or the wise old man that shows up in everybody's imagination because they are part of the shared library. Some people have something called aphantasia, which means they can see pictures in their head when they're awakened. If you tell them to imagine an apple, they just see black. But the creepy twist is that even people see the same strange figures in their dreams, proving that shared library is hidden very deep inside everyone. Scientists are trying to figure out if we're born with these patterns in our brain, like how a spider knows how to spin a web without even being taught. In shorter terms, collective memory. There's an interesting mythical history on a YouTube channel called The Spirit of Science that talks about two types of species that give insight on collective memory. While the shadow video can be easily edited to show a shadow, the possibility of seeing a shadow person is not far from reality. I'll stamp this. More research needed.
Pay attention. They have literally told us what their plans are going to be. They mainly do this through TV shows and movies. This is called karmic retribution. It wipes the slate clean because as long as they told us it's universal law, their slate's clean. Now, their slate may be clean karma-wise, but their slate would never be clean when it comes to God. Here's a perfect example of them telling us what their plan is in American Horror Story.
World leaders, tech giants, media moguls, and cultural influencers. The rumors you've heard are true. My name is Michael Langdon, and I am the Antichrist. Humanity is at a crossroads. The world as it is today, the poverty, the hunger, the greed and war, it's no longer sustainable. The time has come to wipe the slate clean. Friends, it's time for the apocalypse. I understand your trepidation. But let me remind you that you are here because of the gifts bestowed upon you by my father. In return, you gave him your immortal souls. He owns you. Therefore, I own you. We speak with one voice, and my demands are his. Now, as you'll see from the handy guide provided by my associate, I do not intend to leave you and your families to die. When fire rains down on the unwashed masses, you and your families will be safely squirreled away in a network of luxury fallout shelters. You already have the resources. You just bought land on New Zealand's South Island. You own half of Bora Bora. The bunker underneath your ranch in Texas could easily fit 20 people. With a little construction and some retrofitting, these sites will make the perfect outposts to ride out the end of the world. And with the admission price of $100 million, only the worthy will gain admission. Turn to page 6, section 1. Outpost construction.
Karmic retribution is like a disease, something like a trauma victim domino effect. This phrase is a bit cloudy on its definition. Where is Jordan Peterson when you need him? I call it revelation of a method, short for ROM, or Easter eggs. Here's a site giving the perspective on what that phrase means. Thank you, Tom. If you like shows that have tons of Easter eggs, here are a few that will trigger your appetite for information. American Gods, 1899, Lovecraft Country, Raised by Wolves, The OA, The Peripheral, Utopia, and the best of them, BTBS. I had to do it. I'll stamp this. More research needed. Silly rabbit. That is a K camper in the Japanese forest. I should know. I was there many times. You don't believe me? Here's proof. I told you I was there many times. I'll stamp this. Mikey.
Listening to a song. I'm going to use a simple song like Jesus Loves Me. And I'm just going to say, Jesus loves me. This I know. For the Bible tells me so. The emphasis is on the one beat, okay? It's more of a march. Rum, bum, 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 right? And now we can also move with the accent. We can duplicate that and put it on the 1 and on the 3. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Jesus loves me, this I know. Kind of like a child would sing it. It's innocent. It's on the 1 and 3. All we have to do is shift the accent to the 2 or to the 2 and the 4 or just the 3. Sounds kind of confusing, but it would be like this. Jesus loves me, this I know. Oh, for the Bible tells me so. Oh, little ones to him belong. All of a sudden, you have what we call like a rap or a hip-hop feel. It's the same word, same type feeling of the same type of melody or whatever, but all we've done is move the accent. The moment we move the accent from the 1 or 3, it becomes a syncopated beat. Syncopation, by all occult experts around the world, agree syncopation is the source of occult power in pagan worship services. Really? Oh, yeah. So this is profound to the Christian. Now we're in our homes, we're in our cars listening to Christian music that has all these beats and syncopated things in it, and we're going, oh, this is great, this is wonderful. What it actually does, just like it does to ancient voodoo worshipers and modern-day voodoo worshipers in their religious services, is it short-circuits the frontal moral lobe. It gets them to a place to where they can become possessed. It's called the place of the crossroads between the physical and the spiritual. And now in the church, we have this thing going on, and we call it the moving of the Holy Spirit. That's pretty profound thinking.
That's pretty profound, yeah.
Okay, so all of a sudden, we're getting our mind going, and we're getting, not our mind going, we're getting our emotions going. We're taking that frontal moral lobe, and we're casting it off. And whatever the preacher's preaching goes in without interpretation. God said no. Reason with me. So I know right there, that is not of God, it's of the devil. Because the devil doesn't want us to reason out who he is, because if we really reasoned it out, what he stood for, and what he's trying to do for us, we would run from him.
Exactly.
But because we're adopting his things, and we're embracing his stuff, if you will, and his music, we run to him and run away from God.
Looks like the creator or the person that reposted this video got a little lazy on the research. Christian did not disappear. As a matter of fact, here are some recent dates he did. The interview was done by Willard Register from the Signs of the Times with Christian Bergal from the Shepherd's Call Ministry about music and the Grin controversy. You can see all their videos in their YouTube channel called Shepherd's Call Media. I even put the time where he explains it. He has a little bit more interesting videos also. The videos basically talk about cymatic frequencies and more. It's sad to see a good video reposted with false information. Tisk. I'll stamp this. Water down.
What have I done? This is the brightest glow in the dark powder in the world. And this is a wall, and I'm going to paint the wall. And I'm just using some cheap white emulsion paint. And the way to get the best glow is put in too much powder until it goes kind of sludgy, and then add paint back in until it's usable. I think we can go glowier. Okay, it's starting to feel like cake batter. We're probably nearly as far as we can go. That's looking pretty good. Let's paint it.
That's nice.
And on the second coat, I just want to make sure it's really nicely covered. I've done it. I have a bit of paint left, but I haven't properly charged the wall yet. So let's give it a go. Oh my god, this is insane. There are no other lights on in here. That's the top. That is all the glow wall.
Oh, that's
I
fun.
love it so much. Cool. Oh my god. Even with the lights on right there, it still looks insane.
That's beautiful.
So, final thoughts. I highly recommend having a glow-in-the-dark wall.
This brings joy to the inner child. Who remembers purchasing glowing stars for the ceiling? I was one of them. I'll stamp this. Me likey.
Yo, it honestly blows my mind how nobody is talking about this.
This is tap water.
Yo, check this out.
And we're going to show you how much chlorine is in tap water.
This is crazy.
We are
This is
going
what
to
y'all be
use
drinking.
chlorinated
Y'all be drinking.
drops. It's a clear liquid with a yellow cap. And this is chlorine. And we're going to see how much chlorine is in our tap water. Now, in this demonstration, we're going to show you how fast chlorine absorbs into your skin. They say that chlorine is proven to cause cancer. It also affects the endocrine system and also the leading cause of asthma, eczema, psoriasis. So we want to eliminate chlorine. Now we're mimicking what happens in a shower or bath. Take out our hand, do the same exact test. We're going to stir that in. Where's the chlorine? It's in my hand.
Thank you, Mr. Blimbley. Let me take over. What is the largest organ in the body? The skin. Does your skin absorb water? Of course. Allegedly, long-term use of chlorine is obviously not good. Imagine the levels in the swimming pool. That will start to make you feel like a store-bought chicken. Hey, it gives you more reason to go to the lake instead. But like every video, let's break it down. Initially, I did have some concerns because there's some moment in the clip where she points out to one glass. But fortunately, Inspector Gadget took a side-by-side comparison of the position and the body glass design. Looks like no trickery was done. Here's the before and the after. It seems it's in the same place, but it would have been nice of her videotaping from long distance to see all the angles, including that alkaline machine in the back. I'll stamp this tripod on layaway.
When I don't understand the difference between home and family, I don't prosper. These are things that only apply to us, but one very important one is understanding the difference between family and home. That is, a person leaves home, a woman leaves home, a man leaves home, forms a home, and they need to prosper. First, they need to form a home. Home comes from the word hearth. They need to gather firewood, divide certain tasks to keep the fire burning. When I don't understand the difference between home and family, I don't prosper. It's very difficult to prosper. And what is the difference? Family speaks of blood, and home speaks of hearth. That is, family is family. Mom, dad, my siblings, my cousins, my uncles, that's family. My home is my wife, with whom I decided to build a hearth and keep it burning. What happens if I'm constantly trying to gather firewood to take to my whole family? Well, I never keep the fire burning, and by trying to do more, I end up doing less.
I also called it my circle. There's many layers like an onion, but the most important is the center. I'll stamp this focus. Well, that's it for today. If you like this content, please press like and subscribe. It's only one click away. Until next time, have a blessed day.